Hi, my name is Feely Francis. I've been living here for 23 years. I'm raising two young men, well, they're men now. And first and foremost, I would like to thank Mr. Feely-Nahem, who's running public safety right now. I must say that neither one of my sons have been arrested since he's been in office. I really used to stay up at night, worried once they went out past their curfew, where they're at, whether they were in jail. Like there were times where I called public safety, like, did you arrest them tonight? It was crazy. But the last arrest of my youngest son, which he was standing in front of, this is not a big man's. He was standing in front of the deli with his friends, and he ordered something at the deli and went outside and was standing in front of the deli, you know, young people. And they saw, it was a Friday night, and they saw the public safety car pull up. Usually on Fridays, on weekends, public safety would try to arrest as many of them as they could, just so they could spend the weekend in jail. The kids that were with my son that he was talking to decided to go one way, but because my son ordered food, he went into the store. Public safety obviously didn't realize that there was cameras on, and you see on the cameras my son calmly walks in the store, get a juice, and is walking towards the counter, and then they bum rushed him to the floor. Anyway, it's a long story. But it's all on tape. If you match what's recorded from the deli versus their reports, it's completely fabricated. I had to fight for my apartment for 8 months, and they still put me on probation because of this case. My son pled guilty for, it wasn't, his lawyer kept telling me it's not a criminal charge, but I don't care, guilty's guilty to me. And he shouldn't have a charge for something that they completely lied about. So, I saw in the news, I'm wrapping it up, I saw in the news that a couple of officers were indicted for fabricating, their reports and everything. So I feel that public safety should be under that same scrutiny. And the same public safety officers that were here under the RIRA regime is still here, and I really don't believe that we can truly move forward until those officers are out of here. They shouldn't just get away with their crimes that they've done against these kids just because they got many people from New York. So that's just basically it. We need those officers out and investigated and indicted, and new officers in. Thank you.
I have all those videos in second-by-second analysis.
So next we have a question from Ms. Green, and someone have the microphone?
I don't need the mic, but I'll take
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
My name is Dolores Green, and I'm the president of the Roosevelt Island Seniors Association for the last 13 years. My statement is directed toward Mr. Serrano. And you know me because you see me numerous times. Yes. Actually, you said you've been here for 10 years. You have overlooked us for 10 years. Funds we put in, you say you don't have it. We open our doors to you once a month so that you can treat it as conspicuous. We bent over backwards. It's about time to recognize us. Yes.
I do recognize you, and I appreciate the work that you and the Seniors Association does. A number of years ago, Governor Cuomo did away with what is called member items, legislative grants. And he did so in response to a a number of unfortunate cases in which elected officials were misusing these public funds and not giving them to worthy nonprofits like yourself, but using it in ways that were enriching themselves and their family. So as a result, the process of giving elected officials discretionary dollars or discretion over the state budget has been eliminated. And quite frankly, I can see why, because I was as appalled as anything. But in doing so, a lot of good organizations like yours and many others in East Harlem and other places that normally they don't have lobbyists, they're not able to get access to money, and they're not, the benefit of rich foundations or philanthropic organizations, are suffering a great deal because of it. And I have legislation in the state senate that I've had for a number of years, since 2008 actually, that would reform and create transparency within the member system, have under penalty of law that all elected officials would have to sign an affidavit proving that there is no conflict of interest in the way that they are dispensing this money, and have full vetting of the organizations that are getting the funds, and have a watchdog watch the money from every part of the process in the budget of the fiscal conduit to make sure that that money is spent properly. I feel that Governor Cuomo does agree with my provisions, but because there's so much bad publicity and press involving funding. So the reason why I'm telling you all this, and I'm sorry if I'm rambling, it's that I don't want you to think, or any organization to think, that I will support the good work that you're doing because I haven't been able to produce any funding. But none of us on the state level, whether it be the state assembly or the state senate, have any discretionary dollars because there has been so much corruption in the past. So my job, I believe, as a state senator, is to fight for ethics reform, to fight for campaign finance reform, and to fight for member reform. I have a bill in the Senate to do that. I can still help you in other ways. Maybe there's ways you can apply directly to state agencies for funding, and I would like to sit with you to see how we can do that.
I certainly will, because all our funding has been cut off by all levels. I've been depending and begging my friends here, they know who you are, to help me out. They've been great. They're going to get sick of me after a while. But anyway, I would appreciate it very much to sit down with you, and that's also the Disabled Association, okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
Okay, so last we have Miss Feely-Nahem.
Hi, my name is Erin, and I am the chair of the Roosevelt Public Safety Committee. Tonight you heard words from several of our members. We've just come through a very difficult period of 5 years of very abusive leadership of our Roosevelt Island Public Safety Department. I do want to acknowledge that we think that era has ended, and we've seen wonderful things and definite progress happen under the leadership of Director McManus and under President Charlene Delgado. But at this point, we are still concerned because, as has been shared, the same officers who we have expressed concerns over the leadership directly under Director Guerra are still here, as well as several of the abusive officers who I know that your office right now is investigating. The problem is that daily we see these officers on patrol of our community. As you heard from Monica, it isn't easy for our children, as safe as I feel now also, with a son, Anthony's age, Makiva's son's age, that he's actually safe when he goes out at night. I don't worry that he's being arrested. That was a fear. These same officers are still there who did, in fact, abuse our children before. And they have to look at them. And they still have to have interaction with them. So although we've seen progress, we still do not have justice. In March of 2013, we have given the Inspector General through the RIRA board a huge, a large amount of civilian complaints to be investigated. At this point, we still haven't heard anything about what were the findings of the investigation. And these officers are still here. Again, I mentioned to by writing him a letter from the Public Safety Committee questioning and asking for his help. We do still need oversight. It's not because Director McManus isn't a great guy and we don't have faith that he will be able to lead his officers, but there does need to be a formal form of oversight, such as Kellner had suggested, and the Senate, you had passed of the bill that would provide oversight of the state public safety department officers. We still need this because right now there still is no oversight. So what I would like to request from all of you is some help in getting justice for the residents who live here. Some way for us to find out what is happening with these investigations. Because as far as we know, these officers are still here and nothing has been done.